All right, let's dive right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to master two of Python's most powerful, specialized tools for handling your data, tuples and sets. Now, if you've been working with lists and dictionaries, you know they are incredibly flexible. But honestly, sometimes too much flexibility is exactly what ruins a perfectly good program. So today, we're focusing entirely on mastering data integrity and duplicate removal using Python's built-in guardians. So, Section 1. Solving the data dilemma. Here's the first half of our dilemma. Why do we sometimes need data that absolutely cannot be changed? Well, think about it for a second. If you have core configuration settings, fixed geographic coordinates, or really critical timestamps, accidental data modification can completely crash your entire application. You don't just need a loose container for your data, you need a digital vault. You need a rock-solid guarantee that once your data is set, no rogue line of code can accidentally overwrite it. And right on the heels of that is our second massive headache. How do databases eliminate duplicate records? Imagine scraping, say, 1,000 email addresses for a newsletter, or logging user activities, and you end up with hundreds of identical entries. Processing all that duplicate data wastes time, it wastes memory, and it causes some really critical bugs. We desperately need a specialized filter.
Moving right along to Section 2, tuples and locking down that data. So, a tuple is an ordered and immutable collection of elements, and I want to heavily emphasize that word, immutable. Immutable just means unchangeable. Once you pack your data into a tuple, the vault is sealed. You literally cannot add to it, you cannot remove from it, and you cannot change the items inside it. This is your absolute guarantee of data integrity within Python.
Setting up this vault is incredibly straightforward. First, you just define tuples using parentheses. Simple enough, right? Then, because tuples are ordered, meaning Python actually remembers the exact sequence you put the data in, you can access your elements via standard indexing and slicing. So if you need the very first item, you just grab index 0, exactly like you would with the regular list. Now, because tuples are totally locked down, your list of available methods is, well, incredibly short. Just count and index. That's literally it. You don't get append or remove. You can only count occurrences or find an index position. And actually, here's a fantastic fun fact. Because Python doesn't have to allocate extra space under the hood for future additions, a tuple takes up significantly less memory than a list containing the exact same items. It's wonderfully efficient.
So you might be wondering, why would we limit ourselves like this? Really, it comes down to two massive advantages: faster execution and unbreakable data protection. Because Python knows a tuple will never change its size or its contents, it can perfectly optimize memory allocation behind the scenes. Your code actually runs faster. And more importantly, you get that unbreakable protection, making sure your critical constants remain exactly that, constant.
All right, on to Section 3. Sets and filtering unique values.
A set is basically an unordered collection of unique values. I love to think of a set exactly like a VIP bouncer at a super exclusive club. If a piece of data is already inside, that bouncer absolutely will not let a duplicate copy through the door. It strictly manages unique values, and it does the whole thing without caring at all about the order in which they arrived.
Spinning up a set in Python is super clean. You can simply use curly braces, dropping your items right inside, completely distinguishing them from the parentheses we just used for tuples. Or alternatively, you can use the built-in set function. This second method is incredibly useful when you want to convert another data type, like say a messy list completely full of duplicates, directly into a clean, filtered set.
Now, because sets are mutable, meaning they can actually be changed, unlike our tuples, we get a robust list of built-in operations to manage the items inside. You can add a new unique item, you can remove an item, though heads up, that will raise an error if the item isn't actually there. If you want to play it a bit safer, you can use discard, which just fails silently if the item is missing. And you can pop an item, which removes and returns a completely random element, because remember, sets are totally unordered.
And this is where sets gain their true superpowers. They can perform high-speed mathematical operations. You can combine sets using union. You can find only the overlapping shared items using intersection. You can find what's in one set but not the other using difference. Or even grab everything except the shared items with symmetric difference. Keep these in the back of your mind because I'm totally teasing a quiz for you to try out these union and intersection operations on your own later.
Section 4. Building real-world applications.
You'll see the applications for these tools absolutely everywhere in the real world. Sets are instantly deployed for managing unique user IDs because obviously you can never have two users with the exact same ID. They are the go-to tool for duplicate data removal across massive databases. And for survey analysis, where you might need to find the intersection of people who answered yes to question A and yes to question B, sets process that mathematical logic in a fraction of a second.
To really cement this, our source material outlines a core assignment, a pretty cool mini-project, building a duplicate data removal system. It sounds a little complex, but with what we've just learned, it's actually incredibly elegant.
Check this out. It brilliantly illustrates how the system works. If you start with messy database input, like a duplicate user A or a repeated email address, and you pass it through that magical set function, the bouncer instantly does its job. The messy input is sanitized completely into clean, unique output records, just like that.
Almost done. Section 5. Avoiding common Python mistakes. Let's talk insider tips here. The two absolute biggest errors we see are attempting indexing in sets and modifying tuples. Remember, sets are unordered. If you try to ask Python for the item at index 0 in a set, Python is going to throw an error because there is no 0. There's no order at all. The second fatal mistake is modifying tuples. You can't append, you can't reassign. If you try to break into that sealed vault and change a value, your program is going to crash hard. But hey, understanding these exact pitfalls prepares you perfectly for technical interviews. If an interviewer asks you the difference between a tuple and a list, or why you choose to use a set, you now have the perfect structured answers. Tuples are ordered and immutable to guarantee data integrity. Lists are mutable, and we use sets because they automatically filter for unique values and allow for lightning-fast mathematical operations. Which brings us to our final thought. You now have the theory. You've seen the syntax, you know exactly how to lock data down with tuples and filter out messy duplicates using sets. The mechanics are entirely in your hands, but the real question is, when will you sit down and build your first duplicate removal application? Take the assignment, write the code, and watch these concepts come to life on your own screen. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy coding.